Level 1. Entry into the system and first marks. Welcome to the harsh world of an American prison, where every tattoo has its own meaning. I have been here for many years and have studied the local culture of body art in detail. Here, the ink on your skin tells your story better than any official court documents. At this entry level, newcomers receive their first simple marks from local artists. Prison artists use improvised materials, such as motors from ordinary electric razors. For ink, they often use soot from burned plastic, mixed with plain water. The application process is quite painful, but every inmate strives to earn their first mark. The most popular initial symbol is a small teardrop under the eye, which carries several important meanings. A single teardrop signifies the loss of a loved one while you are behind these high bars. Other inmates instantly understand your pain and respect this solemn sign on your face. My own status was initially low because I had only one such teardrop. However, over time, each new mark raised my authority among the other local prisoners. Payment for the master's work usually consists of cigarettes or packs of popular ramen noodles. One simple tattoo at this level costs about $5 in prison equivalent. Some inmates get 3 dots near the eye, which signifies their crazy lifestyle. This symbol warns others that this person should be handled with extreme caution every day. All these drawings are done secretly from the guards during the evening roll call in the cell. If the guards notice fresh ink, you will immediately be sent to solitary confinement for a week. Therefore, one must be very careful and patient during the process of applying these signs. This is just the beginning of our long journey through the complex hierarchy of American prison symbols. Level 2. Gang symbols and street loyalty. At the second level are symbols that indicate belonging to a specific street gang. Prison artists craft these intricate designs using disassembled strings from regular guitars. The needle moves very fast thanks to a homemade machine powered by a small gaming console motor. The cost of such a detailed tattoo reaches $15 or 3 packs of quality coffee. The most famous sign here is a 5-pointed crown, which signifies deep loyalty to the gang. Another popular symbol is a spider web on the elbow, which demonstrates an inmate's lengthy sentence. Each new layer of this web corresponds to 1 tough year spent behind these bars. My own status grew significantly when I received my first serious gang mark. Inmates with such marks get better seats in the cafeteria and protection from the group. Some guys ink a 4-letter acronym that expresses deep hatred toward the police. Playing cards are also frequently tattooed, demonstrating the owner's gambling nature. The heart suit signifies a search for love, while the spade suit points to an authoritative and dangerous leader. Guards often inspect our hands during daily walks in the cramped prison yard. The tattooing is done in complete silence, while a cellmate carefully watches the hallway. To create colored ink, crushed lead from ordinary school pencils is sometimes used. However, blue and black remain the most popular colors due to their easy availability here. I have seen young guys cry from pain while receiving large tattoos, but a real man must endure this process without a single scream or unnecessary movement. These tattoos stay for life, serving as a reminder of the chosen dangerous path. Now you understand how street symbols change a person's status in this brutal world. Level 3. Religious motifs and the search for protection. The third level is dedicated to religious tattoos, which symbolize repentance and the search for higher protection. Inmates often get praying hands with a rosary inked on their chest or shoulder. This image signifies that the person hopes for mercy and the spiritual salvation of their soul. Prison artists spend about 5 hours creating such a deep and detailed piece. For such hard work, the artist receives approximately $30 worth of prison commissary goods. My authority allowed me to get a large cross on my back without any obstacles. A cross on the back protects an inmate from a sudden attack from behind during group yard time. Other prisoners see this sign and understand that powerful forces stand behind me. Protestant versions of angels fighting dark and dangerous demons are also frequently depicted. This motif demonstrates a person's constant inner struggle between good and bad deeds. Fine details are done using the thinnest syringe needle obtained from the medical unit. The ink is carefully diluted with shampoo so that it lays on the skin as smoothly as possible. If the tattoo is executed well, its owner earns respect from all religious groups. Guards usually view these drawings more calmly than street gang symbols. However, any tattooing is strictly forbidden by the rules of our correctional facility system. I personally helped procure materials for the artist, earning his sincere gratitude. Religious signs help many people maintain their sanity in these horrific and difficult conditions. They serve as a reminder of family waiting out in freedom beyond the high prison fence. Each new design makes us stronger and prepares us for the next trials of fate. Next, we will look at symbols worn only by the true masters of this strict facility. Level 4. Prison clocks and lost time. The fourth level symbolizes the ruthless time that slowly ticks away behind these heavy doors. The most popular image here is a clock face, without hands on the wrist or neck. This symbol signifies that for the prisoner, time has stopped for long and endless years. Another variation is an hourglass where sand slowly pours into the lower glass section. Such a tattoo costs approximately $50 or several cartons of expensive American cigarettes. At this stage, my status allowed me to choose any complex narrative designs myself. Artists use special preservation sauce to maintain the deep black color of the piece. The application process on the neck is extremely painful due to the high concentration of sensitive nerves. Inmates with clock imagery are considered experienced prisoners who know how to wait patiently for freedom. They do not participate in petty conflicts and maintain complete composure every day. Some add the image of an iron chain snapping into two pieces next to the clock. A broken chain symbolizes the long-awaited release that will surely come after serving a harsh term. I have seen people cover old scars from past fights with these designs. Quality work requires high craftsmanship, which only a few people in the block possess. These artists hold a privileged position and remain under the full protection of senior inmates. Payment for their services is transferred through reliable intermediaries using prison vouchers. Every element of the clock matters, including the quantity of inked Roman or Arabic numerals. If the number 9 is missing, it signifies a total loss of hope for a quick return home. We learn to value every minute while looking at these symbolic drawings on our bodies. Now, let us move on to more dangerous marks that strike fear into many. Level 5. Predators and aggressive power. The fifth level is the zone of aggressive symbols that demonstrate a readiness for physical defense. Inmates depict snarling faces of tigers, lions, or wild wolves on their shoulders. The bared fangs of a beast signify fierce hatred toward guards and any representatives of the current authority. A person with such a tattoo is ready to respond immediately to any insult or provocation. The cost of such a large tattoo is around $80 in local goods equivalent. The prison artist uses a special skin-stretching technique to keep the line work perfectly even. My status allowed me to put an image of an enraged bear on the left side of my chest. After that, other prisoners began speaking to me with distinct respect and caution. A tattoo like this must be earned in real fights or by proving absolute fearlessness. If a weak inmate gets a design like this, they will be forcibly made to cut it off. Kingpins strictly ensure that every symbol matches the individual's actual status. To create shading in the artwork, the artist dilutes the ink with ordinary prison soap. This allows for smooth gradients between dark and light areas on the skin. Guards consider owners of such tattoos to be potential organizers of riots and dangerous fights. We are monitored more closely through surveillance cameras in the hallways and out on the yard. However, this attention only raises our standing among young and inexperienced inmates. We form the core muscle of the block, controlling order inside the cell. Every beast on the body tells the story of the number of fights won over these years. Having endured this stage, you become a true warrior of this harsh prison underworld. The next level will reveal the secrets of the ultimate prison elite and their marks. Level 6. Royal Symbols and the High Elite. The sixth level belongs to the real shot callers who govern all operations in our prison. The main symbol of this level is a crown with precious stones depicted in the design. It signifies absolute power and control over other inmates in this block. Creating such a tattoo costs over $200, which is a massive amount of money here. The master uses the highest quality materials, smuggled in secretly by civilians over the fence. My status allowed me to enter the Council of Elders, where major decisions are made. A tattoo like this covers the entire back or chest and requires many painful sessions. During the process, 2 assistants help the master by constantly wiping away blood with napkins. Bearers of the crown do not perform any dirty work and have their own personal servants. They resolve all disputes between different gangs and oversee the distribution of prison goods. If anyone dares to copy this symbol without permission, severe punishment awaits them. Guards know everyone with these marks very well and try not to provoke them. After all, a single signal from such a leader could trigger a massive riot inside the facility. The ink for these tattoos is made using a special recipe with added resins. This makes the design exceptionally vivid and resistant to fading in the sun. I am proud to have walked this long road to the very top. Every line on my body was earned through years of trials and fierce struggle. Now young guys come to me for advice and help in difficult situations. We preserve the traditions established decades ago by the first inmates. But ahead lie even more secretive and mystical symbols of our prison world. Level 7. Mystical signs and Eastern dragons. The 7th level includes complex Eastern motifs, particularly massive Japanese or Chinese dragons. The dragon symbolizes wisdom, deep cunning, and the ability to survive in the harshest possible conditions. This piece usually wraps around an entire arm or flows from the shoulder onto the chest. Application requires high artistry, as the dragon features countless fine details and scales. For such work, inmates pay with cartons of expensive cigars or direct money transfers. Prison artists draw the stencil directly on the skin using a regular ballpoint pen. Then they slowly outline every contour using a homemade machine with a fine needle. I received my dragon after transferring to this new block. This symbol showed everyone that I possess not just physical power, but intellect. People with dragons often become financial analysts and strategists within prison factions. They conduct negotiations with other groups and plan complex contraband delivery schemes. For the pigment, they use burned rubber from high-end athletic sneakers from world-famous brands. This yields a deep blue tint that looks striking on tan skin. Guards often look at these tattoos with admiration during standard cell inspections. Nevertheless, they still record every new artwork in the inmate's official personal file. We are forced to hide fresh tattoos under long clothing for the first few days. Using baby cream helps the skin heal faster after these painful procedures. Wisdom helps us avoid extra prison time for new infractions of internal facility rules. Every dragon is a work of art created inside a dark and cramped prison cell. The next level will cover symbols that signify life sentences and the loss of cherished freedom. Level 8. Life sentences and web of fate. The 8th level is dedicated to those who received the harshest sentence from an American court. The primary symbol here is a full spider web covering the entire chest or shoulders. In the center of the web, a large spider is often depicted sitting quietly over its prey. The spider means that a person is completely trapped in the system's net with no chance of getting out. If the spider is crawling upward, it means the inmate is continuing their criminal activities. If the spider is crawling downward, it shows that the person has cut ties with their past life. The cost of such a massive tattoo is valued at $300 or equivalent services. I have seen gray-haired old-timers carrying these designs since as far back as the 1950s. My own status allows me to speak freely with these legendary prison figures. They enjoy unquestioned authority and live by their own strict internal code. Applying these tattoos takes weeks, as the skin of older people heals slowly. Masters use diluted alcohol solutions for disinfection to avoid dangerous infections. Any infection in prison can lead to very severe and tragic consequences. Therefore, we strictly monitor tool cleanliness when applying these marks. Guards know that owners of the web fear nothing left in this life. They have lost everything on the outside, so they defend their dignity to the very end. These tattoos are a symbol of eternal loyalty to the prison brotherhood and its unshakable traditions. They remind all the young guys of the high price that must be paid for mistakes. We respect these people for their exceptional patience and resilience over the years. Now, we are approaching the highest and most dangerous level of our hierarchy. Level 9, finger rings, and the secret code. The 9th level features rings tattooed directly onto the phalanges of the fingers on both hands. Each ring is an encrypted autobiography that tells the story of all crimes and served sentences. Black and white squares mean that the person has passed through the facility's harshest solitary confinement units. A chessboard pattern indicates the ability to calculate moves far in advance. The cost of tattooing a single ring is around $20 or 5 packs of tobacco. This is extremely precise work that requires ideal coordination and focus from the artist. My status allowed me to place 5 different rings on my dominant left hand. Now any experienced inmate can read my status without a single word being spoken. It is enough for them to simply look at my fingers during a welcoming handshake. Rings are impossible to hide, so they are always in plain sight of the guards and administration. The administration uses reference guides to decipher these complex encrypted symbols on fingers. However, inmates constantly invent new variations to confuse the local prison police. For application, the thinnest sewing needles taken from the prison textile workshop are used. The pain during the procedure is very sharp due to the proximity of bone to the skin. But a real authority figure must silently endure this difficult and lengthy application process. These marks make us part of a closed order where outsiders have no access. We recognize our own, even after many years out on long-awaited freedom. Finger rings are the passport of the prison world, valid in any state across America. They confirm that you have been through every circle of this fierce hell. Only the final level remains, summarizing this entire complex and painful journey. Level 10, full suit, an absolute legend. The 10th level is the finale where the inmate's body is completely covered in a unified narrative tattoo. This is called a prison bodysuit, created over several decades of a hard life. Here, all previous symbols merge: teardrops, crowns, dragons, clocks, and intricate finger rings. A person with a body like this is considered a living legend and holds absolute respect from everyone. The total cost of such a suit can exceed several $1,000s in civilian terms. Masters work on this for years, turning skin into a true museum of history. I have nearly finished my suit, leaving only a few open spots on my legs. My status is the highest in this block, and everyone considers my opinion. I do not need to prove anything to anyone, because my body speaks for me. Guards and the warden know me personally and respect me for my endurance. Applying the final touches is done with special solemnity in the presence of close friends. We use the best available materials so that the artwork preserves for long years. This bodysuit is my armor, protecting me from spiritual breakdown and despair. It tells the story of every single day spent behind these thick concrete prison walls. Everyone who looks at me sees the story of a true victory of the human spirit. I went through pain, isolation, and fear, but I maintained my personal dignity. These tattoos have become part of my essence and my inner world. You have learned all the secrets of American prison body art culture. Remember that behind every line stands a real story and a tough choice. Thank you for walking this long and dangerous road with me today.